Hey everyone, welcome to the channel where we love to talk about movies. Welcome especially if you're new. If you enjoy talking about movies and staying up to speed on what's in theaters and what's worth checking out, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a review. Alright, with that, let's get on into today's review, which is for The Invitation. I just got back from seeing it at the theater, so let's talk about it. In this movie, a young woman is courted and swept off her feet only to realize a gothic conspiracy is afoot. So this movie, going in, I had seen the trailer, and what I'll say is I wish I hadn't seen the trailer because while I didn't really know, like they set up a mystery in it, and it's a mystery for I'd say the first like half of the film. I knew kind of bits and pieces where it was going, so I had my suspicions, but I would have loved going into this movie not knowing anything about it. I think the very first scene it does set the tone that it is going to be like a horror film, but other than that, you don't get any horror elements for like the first 15 minutes. And then even then you get just a glimpse, and then it's like the first half an hour I feel like is it doesn't feel like a horror film. It feels more like a rom-com. So that would have been really, really interesting, I think, going in if I had known absolutely nothing about it. But in fact, I did. So that's kind of the context from which I'm coming in this review. So we're gonna keep this spoiler free. I don't think there's some things you can spoil, but it's not the most spoilery movie. But yeah, so my kind of generalizing things, I rather enjoyed the first half, but I didn't really care for the second half of the film. And so I'm kind of split on figuring out where I land on this one in the end. But the things that I liked, I thought that like the setting was nice. It's the sort of thing where it's a little Downton Abbey where you get a glimpse into the upper class and like a really nice house, and it's a bit of an escapism for that. And I usually enjoy those type of movies. I'll maybe not the yeah, it's like slightly guilty pleasure movies, I'd say. It falls into that category. But hey, what can I say? That's what they are. So the story in the first half of the film I think just rolls along, and it kept me engaged and interested, especially because yeah, you don't really know what's going on. You know something's kind of up, but you're left guessing, and they don't really explain it to you. They don't leave you too many clues either, in my opinion, but it had me engaged because of that. And then that mixed with more of like the rom-com aspect of the first half and having the main characters like flirt with each other. That was fun to watch on screen. So that was yeah, those were I think that was the nice half of the film. I think the main character was also a fairly like relatable person, and yeah, you don't think she's like absolutely crazy for just like going and visiting her new family. Like I think they set it up in a plausible enough way for the like events to kind of unfold, and for her to go along with this like, yeah, I'm gonna go visit my family that I just realized existed, but I don't really know, and it's gonna be at a wedding at some rich person's house. Like that was yeah, like it's a little stretch of the belief, but I thought they set it up as well as you could. But once we get into the second half of the film, though, kind of once they reveal what the mystery is and it plays out, the second half is much more of like a horror film. And I'm not a huge fan of horror films. For me to enjoy a horror film, there has to be kind of other elements, like other non-horror elements, like very good like characters or a good story and stuff like that. But this one was just very fine. It felt very run-of-the-mill for a horror film. It didn't do anything particularly interesting on that front. So I felt like the second half of the film was a solid like meh, but I rather enjoyed the first half of the film. So I don't really know where to land on this. I'm kind of between a B and a C. I think like if you reverse the halves and the first half was second and I left more on a positive note, I'd be more inclined to go into the B. But I think even with that, even ending on the half that was more of a C, I'm gonna still put it like right at the bottom of the B tier. It was it was a good movie for what it was. It was enjoyable. It's not one that I'd like go out of my way to recommend, but I don't think it's the best horror film, but it was interesting and entertaining for me, so that's why it gets into that B category, just barely. Like the second half didn't quite destroy everything the first half did for me. So yeah, that's I think that's all I have to say about the film. It's yeah, it was a hard one to give a letter grade to. I will say that. But if you had a chance to see the film, though, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you are a fan of horror, how did the second half play for you? Was it something that you enjoyed? Was that up your alley? Or not so much like it wasn't for mine? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this review, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe so you never miss a review when it posts. And with that, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next review.